Before I say anything, would somebody like to recap us on how we got to where we are now?
The gang went down into the undead hole, and it almost immediately found themselves overwhelmed by what they found were goblins that were actually part goblin and part ghoul. They dubbed them ghoulblins. They were almost immediately overwhelmed and outnumbered, but using the power of friendship, they managed to overcome their ghoulblin dastards. And my voice is going. Somebody else pick me up.
All the goblins in the room were killed. We then killed the boss goblin. And then there's another goblin who's trapped behind a barricade with a fire bitch. And we found the bones.
Yes, fuck. My favorite part is becoming our recap. This is the best.
Oh man, yes. There was this goblin who is trapped behind this barricade, who warned you all to be quiet. You insisted on making noise, and their warning manifested itself as a clawed hand reached through a hole in the wall behind them and threw a fireball into the room. You had already seen that this particular goblin by the name of Zoduk is in a room with 3 other dead goblins, and half of his face and body is burned, presumably at the hands of whatever threw this fire. You also you took some time to about 10 minutes or so for some people to do some healing, for Moa'Kee to identify a wand that he picked up off the dead goblin boss Glorkus. And you did identify the bones on the altar, though nobody has approached them. So we are going to pick up exactly where we left off, with Zoduk pressing up against the barricade that Lumi, you are currently right near, as Zoduk all but pushes himself through the tiny gaps, trying not to get burned. You can see for a moment this whole room illuminated in fire, and you feel the wash of heat from that fireball, Lumi, as it presses out. And Zoduk is reaching towards you, but just trying to go, I said, keep your voices down. That's what happens if you're too loud.
Are you okay? What was that?
I don't know.
Who's hurting you?
He kind of looks at you like this, and then motions back at where the fireball was.
I think this is probably when Velynia would come around the corner finally, Lumi having just finished her healing, and be like, all right, well, what are we going to do? I mean, obviously there's something big and terrible back there. Are we equipped to handle it, or should we?
There's something terrifying back there. Little
We can
Zoduk
take it.
here doesn't know what it is.
Moa'Kee.
It launches fire.
We can take it.
Oh,
We're badasses. We can do it, right?
there's the bones right there.
Millie
I'm
pulls.
quick. I'm quick. I can grab the bones. I can scurry on up and give them to Father Xantus, and you make sure nothing bad happens in the meantime. And I'll come back, and we'll still be able to figure out what's going on here.
Good
Millie
idea.
pulls a sack off of her belt and hands it to Velynia.
What's this?
For the bones.
Oh, it's just like a normal bag. Oh,
Well, of
all right.
course it's just a normal bag.
And Velynia is kind of like chuckling, and she assumed like it was like some like bag of holding or some kind of other magical thing, and it's just like it's just a bag. So Velynia starts going
It's a
over
one
to the
copper
thing.
sack, dear.
It'll do just fine, thank you, Millie. And Velynia goes over and just starts kind of probably fairly unceremoniously just kind of like scooping the bones into the bag.
Does
Velynia, please stop.
Velynia, just go ahead and roll me a
We need dice for this kid.
yeah, roll me a stealth check.
Okay. I'm very good at this, actually. Fingers crossed. Here we go. It is the first one. I'm manifesting good things for myself. Well, that is a 13 stealth.
Ooh.
Wow, thanks, Jay. How about you just say, do the Family Feud and be like, you know what? Good roll. Good roll.
Good roll. Good roll. Yeah,
Give me
good
the
job.
Family
Good job.
Feud. Thank
Good
you.
job. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. I need your malarkey. Cool.
Let's see, a 13. Okay. There is a sound of it's a sound of frustration that comes from further back in the room as the last of the bones clatter in an effort to sweep everything into this bag. The skull of this set of bones misses the bag, hits the floor with a hollow, echoing sound, and that's what kind of sets off this sound.
Did you just pippin us?
Wow.
From behind Zoduk, we hear this voice. This time, the voice has a very it sounds deeper and it sounds darker. It is not in the common tongue. It is, and I had all your languages and I don't have them handy at the moment. Does anybody...
Elven Common.
What's that?
I just speak Elven Common.
Does anybody speak Abyssal? And there's another blast of fire, this time that just seems to shoot as a gout into the room, and it seems to kind of spray as if searching for somebody. Zoduk is pressed hard against that barrier. You gotta get me out of here. You gotta get me out of here.
Okay, Zoduk, we're gonna get these bones. That's what we're here for, and we're gonna deal with whatever this horrible thing is to you. Okay, we're gonna get you safe. Okay.
Do it quietly.
Yeah, we'll do it quietly. And she says the "do it quietly" part a little bit more pointedly at Velynia.
Sorry, I thought I was being quiet.
So you have all the bones. You've put them in a bag.
I very slowly bend down and pick up the skull and very quietly and gently put it in the bag.
Lumi will tiptoe over to you, Velynia, and like, okay, I can take these bones, and I'll scamper up to Father Xantus. Just make sure that nothing bad happens while I'm gone, okay? I would be
All right.
horrendously beside myself if something bad happened while I was gone.
All right, be quick about it.
Okay. And I'm gonna attempt to like stealthily move through the cave, and I do have a little cantrip that can help me here, called Warp Step, where she uses it sometimes when she really has to hustle. She like does a little whisper, and like there's like a little bit of like telekinetic cushions that happen at her feet, and she can like just run a little bit faster.
Awesome.
So what does that do mechanically for your speed?
I get +5 to my speed while Warp Step is active.
So
It just like hustles me just a little bit.
yeah, so you can go ahead and you know the way you came. You can exit.
Don't want me to stealth roll on my way out?
Yes, I do want you to stealth. But I'm also thinking. Oh yeah, okay. I need a stealth roll and I need an acrobatics or athletic roll.
Okay, perfect. I will roll for stealth, getting 15 on the die for a total of 24 on my stealth. And she like tiptoes with like it's almost like Pink Panther with this huge like bundle above her, and she's like tiptoeing. And then for acrobatics to climb up the ropes, that's to get back to the surface, I imagine.
Did you guys drop
16
ropes?
on the die for 25. Well, maybe we just like, I can't remember how it got down.
I feel like you
I got a 25 on acrobatics though.
Yeah, you're able to get up and out. You are gone currently. Getting up to the top, you do not find Father Xantus just hanging out at the exit, waiting for you.
He's just waiting up there. Oh, thank God, it's you.
It's going to take you a few minutes. So, Lumi, you will be gone for the next few minutes.
I think Velynia is just like sitting on this altar. My dumbass keeps trying to move myself on the Zoom window. Velynia is just like sitting on this altar and just kind of like flipping a knife up and like nervously looking back at this opening where Lumi ran.
Hey, are you just going to sit there or are you going to get me out of here?
We're deciding what to do. Going to get you out, but we have to decide how.
Now.
See these boards?
Yes.
If you remove them...
Shut the fuck up. I don't need your sarcasm. We're trying to decide how best to get you out, but keep whatever the fuck is behind you in.
It's not in this room.
What do you mean it's not in that room?
There's a hole in the wall. Where the other goblins, we were digging. We broke through into the room where it is.
And Velynia like goes shh, and like puts her knife back, and she kind of like saunters up to this gap, and she's like, "So what you're telling me is that all of this was actually your fault?"
No. It was Glorkus's fault. And actually, if you want to be even more, it was Ribnugget's fault.
What was his name? Please say that again.
Ribnugget.
Remarkable.
Anybody
Sure.
Anybody who has lived in Sandpoint for there's a couple of you that have been in Sandpoint for a very long time. I'm thinking all of you except for Velynia.
We decided out of game that probably Velynia and Millie arrived around the same time, a little less
around
than a year ago.
9 months ago, 10
Something
months
like
ago,
that.
So
something like that.
the two of you can roll a recall knowledge, but the other three of you, well, sorry, but Lumi's not here, but Natalin and Moa, you know that name, Ribnugget.
Recall knowledge what? Society. Survival. Nature.
Let's go with society, actually.
Jake, make it society.
Let's go with society.
Society makes
I got
sense.
a nat
Society's
20.
history.
I listen. I hear. I'm the best
I
at
got
listening.
a rock.
Damn it.
9 on the die, 15.
That's actually enough.
Oh my god. I'm so glad I rolled my nat 20 on that shit then.
Now, you don't necessarily know a ton about Rip Nugget in terms of like you didn't know, like, read an unauthorized biography about him or anything. But in the late unpleasantness, when Nualia was causing problems in Sandpoint, she was in league with a bunch of goblins. The leader of those goblins was a goblin chief by the name of Rip Nugget.
But
All of you
Did-
also know that Rip Nugget was killed in by the heroes. Following that, they followed the goblins to their lair in Thistletop out in the hinterlands, and they wiped out the goblins and they killed Rip Nugget. So to
How
hear
are they still following orders 17 years later?
that, you don't know. All you know is Rip Nugget is a name from the past.
And so Velynia kind of like sighs, knowing this name. It's like, you are absolutely sure if I take these boards off, nothing can come out behind you.
Velynia, move yourself right up there next to Zodak, and you should be able to
Okay.
see.
I sure will. Hold on. Sorry, I forgot once again that I can't move myself on the Zoom window. I have to move myself
So,
up here.
looking past him, you should be able to just see that hole in the wall in the far
Oh,
left corner.
upper left here.
Yeah, and when the fireball first went off, you saw a clawed hand reach through the wall
Ooh.
and throw the
Ooh,
fireball.
right there.
But
Okay.
it seems to be big enough for somebody to like shove their arm through, definitely to
But not-
cast a fireball through, to shoot a gout of flame through yet, but nobody has actually come into the room.
All right.
With you that close, Zoduk says, I'll tell you anything you want to hear. Just get me out of here.
Well,
I would-
Moa's kind of like,
Yes, Moa. What?
come here. Just let's talk
I
away
I
from
go
the
a-
easiest.
I go a half a step away and I'm like, what?
Shh. Are we honestly going to let this thing out?
We're not letting the big thing out. We're just letting.
No, the small one. It's a goblin.
I mean, he doesn't seem exactly like his compatriots. If he was, he wouldn't be locked up behind that wall.
Yes, but what if he's trying to be charming?
If he's trying to be charming and we let him out and he betrays us, I'm fairly
Of course he's going
confident-
to betray us.
I'm fairly confident we can take him. Don't you think?
Well, yes, but why? Where's the effort?
You glance back
I
over
don't
your
think-
shoulder as she says, what if he's trying to be charming? And Zoduk has a finger deep up in his nostril, just
Okay, I take that line back. Charming is not the word I should use.
I'm sure he's
Try-
trying. Moa, even if we do end up killing him and it does take some effort, I don't think anybody deserves to die like that. And Velynia like kind of nods to the char marks on the wall and like the dead scorched ass ones in there with him. Like,
Okay.
Millie
Fine.
just got done getting stuck on the wall again. So Millie just got done taking the armor off of the dead goblin and stuffing it into yet another sack. Who's got sacks? Millie's got sacks.
Millie's got that.
And she approaches you, little help, Jake.
sorry, you said
She
you were stuck again.
approaches. Put me up right next to Moa. Thanks, buddy.
I can't move you.
Oh my god. Okay, wait.
Only God can move you now. There we go. Oh, thank God.
No, not there.
No,
Oh,
I didn't
you
do
clipped
that.
inside the wall.
I'll
Oh,
be
no.
stuck again.
all right, hold on. How on earth?
Okay. You can if you disable Millie's vision, it should let you pass through vision obstacles, and then on the other side you can re-enable her vision again.
God,
All right,
damn.
let's see.
Or just
like a hacker.
I mean, I use this tool.
Are you moving it, Tamiko?
no.
Is anybody else trying to move Tamiko?
It's
Nope.
like a Ouija board.
All right.
No, it's something's
put
weird
me down.
because
I'm just gonna spam
Hold on.
undo.
hold on. Your token, for some reason, when I was moving it, it was moving in the opposite direction.
Well,
I have an idea.
why don't you just delete me and put me back on the board, man?
Great idea. Could have catastrophic consequences,
Cat.
That's how
Catastrophic.
teleportation
Just-
works.
but it just might work. I've always wanted to say that. It's risky, but
You can do it.
Okay, here we go.
Anyways, Millie's going to walk up to you guys and say,
here she is. Ah!
I don't know what all the fuss is about. Just let that little thing out.
I agree with
Are we-
Mama Millie.
Are we getting a little undead thing as a pet now?
No, he's a sentient
I'm nobody's
person.
pet.
No, he's a sentient person. He has thoughts and feelings of all his own, and he uses language, and he has opposable thumbs.
Okay, you ask him if who's throwing the fireballs, get a name, and if what's with Rip
Moa.
Nugget? How the
Moa.
hell is dead?
Moa,
Yes.
won't it be easier to talk to him further away from the thing that throws fire?
I tend to agree.
I'm just fine. If it betrays us, I'm killing it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Perfect. And then we'd all be happy. And Velynia goes up to one of the boards, one of the more like rotten looking boards. And can I just like pull it really hard with my hand? I don't want to hit it to make a lot of noise.
You can make a strength check.
I will.
Athletics.
Here I go. 18.
You grab at one of the boards, and I need you to roll a D100.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's an 88. Great year, 88.
I rolled a 66.
Double numbers, both.
You're able to, there's a little bit for a moment that sort of like a nail, that squeaking sound a nail makes as you start to bend the wood. And for a moment you fear that this whole thing is going to come collapsing down in a chaotic noise.
Loud.
But you're able to get this one loose. And then you can start to see how this thing was haphazardly assembled. And it takes you a few minutes, but you are able to, in fact, as you get a few more of the pieces from your side, Zoduk starts reaching through and kind of holding something to help you or pulling against the board. And as soon as there's a hole big enough for Zoduk, he gets down on almost like hands and knees and he scrabbles out through the hole and kind of runs over to the side here and kind of shoves himself in the hole next to the altar. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
you. Now, what is that?
No,
thing's
no, no,
name?
no, 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 not in this room. It can still hear.
And Velynia kind of rolls her eyes and like gestures at like the passageway where we like to where we were before.
Zoduk is going to... Zoduk is going to... What's his speed?
If I'm just going to say this, if he tries to duck down this other corridor that I'm beside, I'm totally going to stop him.
Good.
So
Yes.
Zoduk is going to try ducking down that hallway.
Oh, you little
He
sneaky bitch.
scrambles over the altar, leaps onto the ground, and if you want to make a grab at him,
Do it, Natalin.
I certainly do. Is that an athletics or what am I rolling?
it would be an athletics check versus his fortitude DC. It's essentially a grapple is what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Um,
Get him.
You're
Get
taking the
him.
grapple action.
17.
Woof. Woof.
Yeah, he starts to scramble past you, and you're able to just grab hold of this sort of the remnants of the rotted and half burned clothing that he wears, and he sort of goes, "Yeah, I wasn't running away. I just went out of this room.
Bullshit. Fucking little shit.
Where am I gonna?"
I am not letting loose of the clothing. In fact, I'll try to get a better grip so that it doesn't just rip out of my hands, and I'm going to start to drag him towards where Millie is in that corner.
I would follow them both and be like, Zoduk, we are leaving the room, but we're going to a place that we have been and we know.
That's where this goes.
Wait. It goes back to where we were before? Like where we would have come in?
Yeah, it circles down. Like, down
Oh.
below it circles.
Well,
You're not just going to take his word for it, are you?
yeah, fine. I would stick with that. We might. I mean, tell you what, you could just keep a hand on his little shirt there, and
What's
we can just walk together.
Natalin? What's your athletics DC? 10 plus your athletics modifier.
17.
Okay. I have a million windows open. 17, so I will be... Okay, why is that not rolling? Or die. Here we go. That's probably not going to do it. Nope. He is pushing with his goblin feet and hands. He is trying to get away from you. It's like picking up a cat that doesn't want to be picked up. But he can't escape from you.
Listen, what a badass.
I think after a moment, he does this for about like 10 seconds. Just
Do
And then he literally
Natalin
just-
and I, while he's like freaking out, do Natalin and I kind of share like an exasperated like look back and forth, like as he's just no,
and then he just and he's just standing there.
Can we all agree to meet like right over here?
yes.
Cool.
Tell you what.
Jacob, can you move me, please?
He should be able to move now.
I cannot.
Oh, I
Tell
know
you
why.
what, Zoduk.
Hold on.
We
Try
will
it now.
meet our friends on the other side. We'll go this way, you and me and Natalin, and we'll meet our other friends, Millie and Moa'Kee, on the other side.
Can you move now, Tamiko? I forgot to give ownership to you on the.
Let's go. We're
And you
going
see that
together.
Zoduk was telling the truth. That
Oh.
are you holding him the entire time?
Oh
yes.
yeah.
As
I'm not
you
letting-
walk by this rock table, he reaches out, grabs at a bone, and is just trying to get whatever nutrient he can out of this bone. Once you're clear of that room, you feel the tension go out of him a little bit. And he just sits there kind of crunching on this bone. Okay. I didn't mean to make you think that I was going to run. I just wanted out of there. I've been in that little room for days. I don't even know how long. Once we dug through the hole to wherever that creature was, and it burned all the others, Glorkus told the other, and he kind of looks past Millie and sees the pile of dead goblin bodies. They all barricaded me in to keep it from getting out.
What is it?
If I made so much as the smallest noise, it would send fire into the room. I didn't stop to ask its name. I didn't ask it what it was. So, once that was blocked off, I think the other goblins, they dug up around it to get around that room. So anyway...
How did it send fire into the space that you were in? Did it like reach in there? Did it just like...
The fire came right out of its hands.
What did its hands look like?
Dark, scaly, claws.
Now what about this this chicken nugget person? What did you call him?
Rip Nugget.
Oh yes, that was it. Much more fearsome. Rip Nugget. I've heard of Rip Nugget. Isn't he dead?
Rip Nugget is he's dead, but not like me. It's a different kind of dead.
He's still moving?
Oh, he moves. He's in charge.
What the?
He sent us down here to look for her bones. But he also told Glorkus to keep digging, to try to dig under the church. He said there are secrets that are too much for ordinary goblins to understand. And then he went off to the pit to find some secret knowledge. So he sent us all down here. Then we found the bones, and then Glorkus decided he would try to raise the bones himself. He thought it would make him look good to Rip Nugget. He's already like his number 2 guy. Well, he was. Did you kill him too, or did he run away?
At this point, Velynia is like digging into her bag, and she pulls out a piece of like jerky, like a fairly large chunk of like salted meat, and she like shows it to Zodok, and she'd be like, "Now, what I'm going to need you to do is relay all of that to my little reptilian friend when she comes back. Can you do that for me, Zodok? Tell me all of that again when she comes back."
I mean, I just told you. Do you need me? I mean, what else do you want to know? I'm pretty much an open book.
I want you to wait and enjoy this meat, so you don't have to say the whole thing twice.
You see Zodok kind of... Oh, I'm not eating living food. That's disgusting. Let it sit out in the sun and the rain for a few days. Or better yet, a few weeks. Then it will be good.
Velynia looks back at this piece of meat, which she was really looking forward to eating, and now just this thought is stuck there, and she just like puts it back in her bag
If you leave it out, especially if it gets wet, and you leave it outside, then the flies come. Eventually, if you're lucky, it gets maggots on it.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I'm not going to eat that, so if you were trying to bribe me with that, it's not going to work.
All right. Well, does anybody else have any questions for our beloved Zodok? I mean, like I said, I think we should wait until Lumi gets back so she can be in on, you know, all of this and see what input she might have.
He points past Millie and Moa to where all of the dead goblins are. Which I guess I realize now I hid them. You guys can't see them. They're all in a pile near the doorway, the tunnel.
Like fucking sandbags.
But he just kind of looks at you guys and he goes, "Are you going to eat any of those?"
Oh. No.
I mean, it's not my first preference, to be honest. It's a little bit too far this side of ripe.
Had nothing to do with the fact that it's cannibalism.
Cannibal what?
Never mind. Have that.
And he's going
Have
to...
yourself a snacky, dear.
He scooches over, and then he kind of hesitates as he looks at Millie, Monte Cristo, and Moa, and then he kind of goes around.
And Moa's giving him the finger to come to him for a second.
And he comes to about here. He's kind of in the midst of the pile of bodies as he looks down and finds where you've cut off a limb or something, and he just drops the bone he had, picks up a severed arm, and just starts... but he doesn't come much closer. He just looks at you.
Zodok is your name, right?
Yeah.
This hallway, if we keep on going, can you in the sand draw a map of the caves that were here?
No, you saw I was in that room. I heard them digging around, but I never got through. I've been in that little room with that fire thing this whole time.
Where do these caves go from? Did you carve all these caves?
I dug over there, and I dug this. I helped dig the tunnel to come in here. And I dug all down around here.
How far do these tunnels go? Where did you come in? Where'd you come in?
I don't know. I came in when I was buried here.
Okay.
And then I was awakened and I was a goblin.
How did Rip Nugget go to the pit? He was here and now he went to the pit.
Rip Nugget wasn't here.
Oh.
Rip Nugget died in Thistletop a long time ago. I think Rip Nugget was he was big mad for a long time. Sometimes they say that if you are big mad enough, it can keep you from staying dead.
Yeah. Did you find any treasure in the area?
We couldn't even find any food.
Okay.
But, oh, yeah, Rip Nugget, and he kind of drops what he's, and for the sake of not going into all of the grisly details, he basically bounces around picking up pieces of dead goblin the whole time. He's just kind of looking around and talking over his shoulder at you. He's like, yeah. So Rip Nugget wanted Glorcus to have us all dig these tunnels out and try to get under the church that's up top. Said we were looking for some kind of weapon.
Kind of weapon?
Some kind. I don't know what kind of weapon it was. He said if we found it, we were to let him know.
Did he give you a description?
Not me. Glorkus.
Gorkus knew what. Okay.
That's when he kind of looks past you and he sees Glorkus's dead body and he goes, oh.
Yeah.
And he kind of wanders over that way and he kind of looks around and he's just like, and he walks right up to Glorkus and just kicks him as hard as he can.
Yeah.
He leans down
Say,
and he goes, if I still had the ability to piss, I would piss on you.
amazing. Real quick, I am looking for clues all around this room. Just for, like, you know, clues about what this fire thing might be, or clues about where they were headed next to get under the church, or, you know, anything.
So, I'm not going to make you roll because you know where you came in, you know the orientation. The tunnel that goes up and around past where Glorkus's dead body is would take you in a direction that would go directly underneath the Sandpoint Cathedral.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you're under the boneyard right now. And you're actually under the southern part of the boneyard that was fairly close to the cathedral. So you know going just a little bit further west, about now probably is when you would return, Lumi. So yeah, you would know that going anywhere that leads to the west would lead you to underneath the Sandpoint Cathedral. But if you want to, or anybody wants to, hold on. I knew that was going to happen. I don't know what kind of moron puts a bunch of obstacles in front of the books he uses each week.
It's just to keep you sharp.
Well, whoever that moron is, he has a nice beard, though.
There you go.
This hand is kind of like that that statue in Home Alone that keeps getting knocked over by the pizza guy every time, and he puts it back. You can make. I'm still adjusting to the Pathfinder system. Is it just perception that you use for investigation?
Typically, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't see any other skill that would be useful here.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, you can make perception checks if you are looking for any additional clues.
All of us can do that, right, Jacob?
Yes, anybody can do that.
I think all of us might want to, because Velynia choked hard.
Velynia's like, you, come on, look for clues.
Everybody look for clues. Come on, gang.
25.
Nice. It's funnier than 24.
14. I choked almost as hard as Velynia.
Welcome to the club. Damn. So good at seeing.
Okay. So, what are you guys looking for as you're searching this area? You just
Kind of anything of note, I would think. Like any clues about what this fire demon thing is, or
Traps, valuables, anything out of the ordinary, any scripts, any unusual writings, anything.
any bookshelves hiding a secret room. You know, the usual.
I'm just trying to find the right switch here. Ah, there we go. Natalin, you got a 26. As you all are searching around the room, pretty much, for the most part, you see this chamber in particular, and the antechamber that had the bones and that led to the area where you found Zodok. These areas are older, presumably dug out by goblins that had been, or ghouls, I should say, that had been under here for a very long time. You notice that the stockpiles of wood that are on the sort of northern wall there, while it is salvaged wood, driftwood, some of it looks like it's been, it's the wood from broken open coffins that the ghouls dug underneath and pulled down. There's a lot of it that looks like it was brought from elsewhere with the intentions of helping the goblins to further dig. And you see signs of that with all of these supports that have been placed, etc. But Natalin, as you are looking around, I'm going to draw your attention to this southeast corner. As you are checking the wall there, you press on a section of the wall.
Oh.
And you open a passageway. A secret door.
A secret passageway. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go.
Velynia?
What?
A word?
Yes. And Velynia is like kicking rocks because she can't find anything and she's a little bit frustrated. And she gets over here and she's like, what do you want? Oh. Holy shit. And she kind of like peers in there behind Natalin. And she's like, very well done. Everyone, come over here. Bring the goblin.
We should wait for Lumi.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, Lumi.
Oh, what fortuitous timing.
Welcome to
Come
the
back, dear. All right, bones delivered. And Natalin just found a sacred passage.
Oh, is
Millie goes up and
sees
puts,
Zodok.
puts an arm around Zodok and kind of gently herds him towards where everybody else is. It says, now, little man, do you happen to know where that passage goes?
I've never seen that passage before in my life.
Sense motive. Oh wait, no, that's one each. Shit.
No, there is sense motive.
Is there? But it's a feat, and I don't have it. I feel like I should.
No, sense motive is just a thing you can do, I think.
Oh, well then.
Is it?
It's a society thing.
I have society.
Yay!
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but
It's
I
just
feel
an
like
action. It's just an action here.
I feel like sense motive was not in. It wasn't in the 2E, but they added it back in core, didn't they? Or was it in 2E?
It changed. So basically, it's more of your perception check, kind of identifying, or society. I want to say, it's like learning, not necessarily recall knowledge is kinda.
Would it be a deception check, but
So-
like going the other way, like I'm
Okay,
detecting
so-
deception?
It is a secret perception roll done by the GM using the person's modifier against the deception DC of the person who is lying. So,
So I'm
So-
going to say
so
right
G-
now, because of the way I do this, and for now,
D100s?
it is highly unlikely that we will be using secret rolls in our game, partly because,
That's a bitch.
well, it's hard to maintain secrets, and it's not really designed for a show where you're also playing for an audience, and you guys, when you're not being featured, are also the audience. You guys know not to metagame. So I will not be doing secret rolls. I would like to do active rolls. So you...
Can I roll a perception?
Whoever's
Perception-
whoever said sense motive is going to roll
Me.
versus the deception DC.
Little motherfucker. Hey, all right, bitch. You go first. Better be high. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is it just Is it
Cari,
just
you're the only one that
Bell?
rolls.
Oh, I know, but I'm rolling against Zodok, aren't I? Isn't it a contested?
Zodok
Yeah.
is a flat number, so you're trying to beat his flat number.
Oh, well, I got a 26.
He's
Oh
not
yeah,
beating your flat number.
Zodok. As soon as that door was discovered and then pushed open, you could, before he even said, "Oh yeah, I've never seen that before in my life," you saw Zodok going, "Oh."
Oh, this little piece of shit.
And
Okay.
then he goes, "Yeah, I've never seen that passage in my life."
I think Velynia would. Okay. Velynia crosses the space, whatever space is between her and Zodok, almost like dumb shit. Tried to move on the Zoom window again. Here we go. Crosses this space almost supernaturally quickly, frighteningly quickly. And she pins this little fucker up against a wall with a knife at his throat. And she just says, "I don't believe you." Where does it go?
Oh, you'd better tell her what she wants to know. Don't bullshit a bullshitter, dear.
Why is everyone so angry?
I'm not. I just want to know where the
Um,
secret
Just got
passage
here.
goes.
There's a passage?
There's
Look.
a very secret passage that Natalin discovered, and I want to know where
Oh,
it
uh,
goes.
Lumi looks to you, Natalin. Good job. She gives you a thumbs up.
Oh, good.
I'll tell you. Just put me down. What are you gonna do? Kill me again? Kill me more?
Yes.
Yes.
Lumi
Okay.
doesn't like this altercation. She's gonna back around the corner and not look. She
She's
hides
like
herself.
tiptoeing backwards.
Yeah.
I
Look.
think, Lumi, I think you see when you like did the thumbs up to Natalin, she'd be like looking at the altercation going on, seeing your discomfort, and then kind of maybe gesturing you to come towards her.
Oh, okay. I'll come hang out with you.
Listen,
And I would say
She scampers
Velynia would
over.
take the knife away from his throat and just, and then she would like just stand there and not put him down and be like, "Tell me first, and then I'll put you down."
I was kind of hoping you weren't gonna find that tunnel, so that
I could tell.
when you guys left, that's where I was gonna leave to.
Oh, it's an exit. Where does it exit to?
You don't want to go down there.
Where
It's
does
Does
it
it
exit
go?
to? And then we can make that decision.
it's the rest of the ghoul warrens under the
Oh.
boneyard. It's where the ghouls that are from here, where they all. It's their place.
It's their
They
home.
pretty much stay out of this area. They're the ones that told Glorkus he had permission to dig under the church.
If you had to guess, about how populous would you say are the Ghoul Warrens?
There's probably, I would say, a dozen or more for each of you.
Velynia does not like it's just like poker face,
Oh,
but like
That's a lot
you
of
could see her
goblins.
tense up a little bit. At this point, I would let Zodok go.
I mean, you can go down there if you
Drop it.
want. The ghouls will eat for weeks off of your dead bodies.
Well, now the issue really becomes, what do we do with you? Because
So,
do we really want
Natalin,
you
what
to run
happened
off?
when I was gone?
What did I miss?
Well, gang, do we want him to run off and tell his whole fucking family about us, or should we keep him with us?
They're not my
or
family.
Something else.
I'm not from there.
Well,
I was
This
just
is a
gonna
really
go
cool
there.
looking secret door.
I think we need to decide what to do. And I kind of look around at the others. I'm not super concerned with Zodok anymore.
He's now looking around at all of you. And he looks he's kind of backing away a little bit, like, I was just kidding about, are you gonna kill me? But you're gonna kill me now, aren't you?
It depends. How chatty do you intend to be with your newfound family down that tunnel?
I mean, they're gonna ask what happened to Dorcas and all the others.
And what will you say? Jesus, Vi! Christ on a trike! That is so much worse than killing him! Oh my god! I'm sorry, the side chat is popping off. Let's go!
The ghoul that's the leader of all the ghouls down there, he's gonna ask me. He's gonna ask me, Zodok, what did you see down there?
The fire
And
person took
I'm-
him out, right?
Yeah, that's a very plausible thing that would happen.
You see, as you say that, Zodok, his eyes get wide and he kind of goes, the fire thing. So,
And she's
And we could
loose
go-
around here.
you know what I would
And
tell
you
him?
don't want to come back.
You know what I would tell him if he asks? Ah! And he screams as loud as he can.
God damn it, it's like that scene in A Quiet Place. Fuck, we need to go.
And you hear from the other room, you hear that.
Can I close it?
And
Want to close it?
I stab him.
Oh, you're gonna kill him. Well, he decided to be a dick. So
go ahead
on
and
his enemy.
go ahead and make an attack.
Can they close the door, the secret door? I don't want to open now.
We're just like,
Yeah,
hurry up.
I'm gonna leave it. Since you've discovered it. I'm gonna leave it open on the map. But
we hide it.
yeah, you can. Here, we'll. I think you guys have draw abilities, unless I took those away.
No, I don't know how to draw.
It doesn't let.
I don't know what I just did.
So my
You just drew
first
it.
What is
attack
that?
roll is a 25.
Okay, that's definitely a hit.
Damn.
And
Okay.
I do 14 points of damage as I stick the wand in his neck.
So his scream goes from to and he kind of looks at you,
Yeah.
and the last word Zodok says to you is "burn." As behind all of you, and I guess between where Natalin and Lumi are, in that space there appears what looks like a line of fire goes forms a door and goes almost like a square version of Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer's Magic from Marvel, as a creature steps through the dimension door.
Oh my god.
Where?
Right here.
I agree, Vi. We are Tosat.
As
100%.
a Brimarac demon that is not any bigger than Lumi appears
Oh.
in the space, and as it appears, we're going to take our break and we'll roll for initiative on the other side.
Yes. I love it. Oh my god, this little fuck. Amazing. Amazing.
Zodok was very
Oh,
disappointed Zodiac was very disappointed that you found his secret getaway exit.
Well, this little shit is trying to be freaking play both sides of the fence. Not gonna
Searching
happen.
paid off.
Yes.
Yes, it did. This was totally Tamiko's suggestion. Credit where it is due.
All right. Well, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take about a 10-minute break. And we will see you on the other side. Hold on.
Let's go. Hold on the other side.
My music won't stop. There we go.
Although,
When are we going to go to the other side? All right.
The creature
motherfucker.
that steps out of this sort of flaming dimension door steps through its lower torso, legs that are cloven hooves, knees bent backwards like a goat's. As the first hoof and then the second hoof step out, you hear the sizzle and hiss of the fire that is burning continuously on its feet. It reaches through with a clawed hand. In its other clawed hand, it holds a blade. It takes its hand across the blade, and the blade illuminates in flames. Its head is somewhat goat-like, with massive curling horns, big red eyes. You can see abyssal runes carved all over its body, on parts of its lower half, across parts of its chest. It's less that it's wearing armor than it just seems to be leather straps wrapped again and again and again, creating this sort of BDSM type armor on this thing. As it looks around at all of you, and then in the common tongue says, "I'm trying to work, and you're making too much noise." Natalin, what would you like to do?
If Pokemon has taught me anything, it's that Natalin will be very effective in this combat.
One would hope, because I was very ineffective last time. 15, 20, 25. Okay, so the first thing, one action, we're going to be moving this way to 30 feet, which is my movement. And I'd like to do this kind of all at once. While I'm moving, I am also activating my aura. So we'll put my aura back on. Boink.
Do it.
So now
Do it. Kill him.
little raindrops and mist is flying around me, whirling my beautiful robes. And as that also manifests, she's holding out her hand as she's striding towards him. She holds out her hand as if she was about to strike with a sword, but you see there's nothing in her hand until the very last moment. As she goes to strike this creature, all of a sudden in her hand there appears a sword completely made of electricity. Well, kind of looks like electricity, but in this case it's more ice than electricity.
Oh my god.
It looks like a giant, very sharp icicle, I guess, if you wish, in the sword shape. And I am going to basically, it's an elemental blast, but it's what I've done here is channeled my aura. I've activated the weapon infusion, which is my elemental blast in element form, and I'm attacking. Oh, that's a really nice roll. 29 to hit.
Is the
Let's
attack
go.
part of the activation?
Part of channel. Yes, part of
Nice.
of the channel elements
So
action.
as you roll your attack roll,
Yeah.
does your aura have any mechanical?
At this point, my aura is just flavor. I
But
do
it's-
not have any mechanical. It would have, but I dual gated, so I do not have any mechanical advantage on my aura at this moment.
So the reason I'm asking is you've described that it's basically like mist and water that's sort of swirling around, but that's just a flavor you added?
It is the flavor. Eventually, once we level up a little bit, then that aura will do something, but at this moment it has no power. So it's just pretty.
Are you saying that if it was water, it would do?
As you step up to this thing
But
before
still,
you,
because like the aura is real still though. The thing is, you are conjuring water around you. So
I am. It is where does it describe it?
There's some H2O here. Boss.
So just for the sake of keeping things moving in this case, I'm going to say as you step up to attack, you hear this hissing as this water aura strikes the creature. And you see it roll its head back and howl in pain. Go ahead and make your attack.
29 to hit.
29?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
a
rolled
hit.
really well.
God damn it.
So that's a hit. I need you to roll your damage and then roll 3d6 on top of that.
Okay.
Keep it
so
separate.
My damage. Okay, so my damage is my gosh, I rolled the maximum of that, so it's 8, and I don't add your strength to that.
If you guys could
So 8
kill him
plus
before
1.
my turn, that would be great.
So
Do our best,
that
Mama.
will be 9 points of cold damage.
Oh my god.
And you said 3d6?
Yes. Sorry, was that 8 or 9 points?
4 plus a 6 plus
That's
a
10.
3, so 13.
That's 13 to you and me.
13. What kind of damage?
That was the 3d6 you said. I don't know
Okay,
what that
hold on. I'm trying to do something. There it goes. It wasn't reacting right.
Water
it was
damage,
9.
Jake.
It was 9 before. And then 13 additional on that 3d6.
Yeah, 9 cold from my actual sword, and then the 3d6 is, you asked me to roll 3d6.
That's
So-
a total of 22.
As you slash into this with this elemental blade, and it's sort of, there's this, as the mist aura is around it, you can see it sort of steam rising off of it, and you can hear the hissing. You see that it's taking damage, but it seems to be affecting it like in its head. Seems to be taking like a mental effect from this. But as you slash into it, boiling blood shoots out of the wound and strikes you. You are going to take some damage.
Owie.
I need you to make a basic reflex save, please.
When you say basic, you just mean like
That means
just
make
my die roll?
make a reflex save, and then if you succeed, you'll take half damage. If you get a critical success,
22.
so that's a success, so you'll take half damage.
I think I have resistances. I'm trying to find
So
that on my
you'll
sheet.
take 2 fire damage from the boiling blood.
Where does one find resistances on their character sheet?
That's a good
Could be
question.
one of your features. Unfortunately, that's if you can send me the link to your character sheet, I can try and find it for you as well.
I
2
don't
eyes.
have to do that. You've been asking me.
Are you using Path Builder?
Yeah.
You can just
Wouldn't it be
URL.
under feats? Like, it's not a feat, but it might be under feats because that's
Everything
where your
is-
other
yeah, everything.
features.
Everything
Yeah.
is a feat in this game.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
scanning through.
I think I have resistance to fire. I don't know, but you said 2, so I'll take 2, just to keep this going. 2 damage. 2 damage. Accept. Okay, and then I have one more action left.
Oh, attack him again, bitch.
I'm going to, because I was able to put agile on my, I forgot to mention that when I do the weapon, I get to choose a melee take. What I would have chosen would agile, because that's like the only one that's going to work in this case. I believe agile is less on the minus on my
4,
second attack. Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 instead
I
of 5.
learned that from Vi last week.
Okay, so then my
Didn't know it before.
oh, that's roll is really bad. So that's 15 minus 4 would be 11.
So on your second attack, the creature shifts their wrist and blocks that ice blade with their flaming blade. And it's weirdly almost like lightsabers clashing, fire and ice.
That is so fucking cool, dude. That is so badass.
And I believe that is your turn, Natalin.
That is my turn.
Which is going to move us to Velynia.
Great. It's wonderful that he hasn't had a chance to move yet, because here I go. I'm going to go right there, strategically, with my movement. And then I'm going to try to hit him. I'm just going to try to hit him with my sword, my short sword. Is it fair to say, Jacob, and feel free to say no, that I drew my sword likely when this door was opening, when we saw the door?
So
Did you have the knife already out when
you had a knife
Not when we were.
out.
Oh, I
With
said
Zodak, right?
specifically
So-
that I put it away. I did say
Because I know
I'm
this
gonna be
is
fair.
the second time this question has come up, and because the rule is very Pathfinder specific, unless you actually say that you've drawn a weapon, you have to use your
Okay.
interaction to draw
All
your
right,
weapon.
get ready for me to slip that shit in every time anything happens. I draw my sword. Okay, but right now, so I'm gonna use one action to draw my stupid fucking sword, and then I'm gonna try to hit him with my last action, my third action already. Here we go. Shit, that's a 16 to hit him.
Having just engaged with Natalin, you see where they're clashing blades, and the creature does a little wrist move, throws Natalin's blade kind of off to the side, spins around, and comes up and blocks your blade.
Am I allowed to use a domain dice to try that again, or now that I know the results, can I not?
That's not specified in the rules of domain dice, so you can re-roll. You just have to take the new.
Yay, I think I will. I am almost certain to roll better.
If you listen carefully, audience and other players, you can hear the sound of the rules straining as Cari bends them as much as possible.
Fuck, well, you know what? Karma serves me right. I did worse. Very slightly worse, but I still missed. God damn it. Well, you know what?
You try
I
to
bought that
shift.
one.
You try to shift your blade, and the
Doesn't
creature just holds its blade against yours
Motherfucker.
with practiced ease.
Shit.
Um,
Okay. Damn it. That's my turn.
Moa.
Moa is going to use a free action to delay to the same initiative Millie is.
He means he wants me to go first.
Yeah.
I'll permanently drop him
I
to
mean,
16.9?
You're basically right
Seven-
next to each other anyway, so
Yeah, so I go to set, and all you can hear is you hear the word cookies as Moa's, and it's kind of the thing that Moa's.
Oh, I know cookies.
So
So
Cookies.
Millie is going to what is it? Millie is going to shout loudly because this guy doesn't like loud sounds. At the demon creature hoofy thing, and say, "Oh, you're a big man locking up and frying goblins who are helpless, aren't ya?" And I'm going to demoralize.
My God, savage.
okay.
The Midwest mom passive aggression. I
Is
love
that
it so much.
is that a
Going to
fortitude
attempt-
save? Or sorry, a will save?
this, I believe so. Hold on.
Demoralizing is.
I'm using a domain dice to re-roll that, please.
Do
It's
it.
intimidate versus.
All right. So that's going to be a 26 intimidation. Demoralize, and it is a will DC. Yeah.
Okay, so you were just rolling against creatures.
My target's will DC.
You beat it. You succeeded. Regular success.
Oh my god, yes.
All right. So the target becomes frightened 1. For Millie's second action, she's gonna make an obscene gesture at it, which it probably can't see because Velynia's in the way. But Millie made an obscene gesture, and then she's promptly going to move over here and take cover for the third action.
So fucking smart. Great turn. That is so awesome.
Okay. Okay, so it's frightened 1. Moa.
Which means his DC saves go down.
Yep, everything
1.
goes by 1.
Going down. So at this point, Moa, you see in some magical glyph runes, just kind of greenish, suddenly in a disc, wrap around his hand, and he just kind of talks in some incantations and casts a spell on this creature. And it is called Binding Muzzle, and he needs to make a fortitude saving throw. Versus my DC, which is my spell DC is 19.
All right, so let me see. Fortitude. So that's going to be. All right, I've added the plus, so the number rolled will be the result. What was your DC? Your DC?
A 19.
So it beat it with a 25. Minus 1 is 24.
Damn it.
Oh, it beat it with the 24?
If your DC was 19,
yeah, my DC
I just rolled
is
a 24.
Okay. I would like to use 5 domain dice, though, to make that a failure.
Okay.
Sure, man. I'll pay for that. Here we go.
I already paid for it earlier.
What
I paid for it at the beginning but because it's a failure, for 1 minute, it has a flat check to cast spells with verbal components.
Oh.
DC 11, flat check. So basically, the spell around his mouth suddenly just kind of caps on top of him, and it just basically it's a piece of magic that's around his muzzle, and it's kind of circling. So it's as he opens it up, it's kind of stretching a little bit as this green magical like rope kind of is around his goat muzzle, and when he tries to talk or speak or specifically spells, he for 1 minute has a flat DC to be able to do that.
What's the name of the thing?
It's called Binding Muzzle. It is a force spell, and he cannot use jaw attacks, breath weapons, drink potions, or elixirs for 1 minute. But for 1 round. But for 1 minute, additionally, if he tries to cast a spell, he has a DC 11 flat check. If he fails, then the spell doesn't work.
For 1 round, the target can't use jaw strikes, breath weapons, or any other attack. You son of a...
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it was a critical fail, he couldn't speak at all and cast spells at all.
Well, you turned it from a success to a
failure.
Just to a regular failure.
Just a regular failure. But still, there's a chance he can't cast spells. So it's definitely. So that was 2 actions. And third action is I'm going to move up to here.
Okay. So Millie and Moa have gone. It is now this creature's turn. You see it as you cast this spell. As you cast the spell, you see it fuming at you, Moa, and you see a little bit of flame as it huffs. You just see, like, you just put a major damper, quite literally, on what it was going to do. It removes its blade, again pushing Velynia's blade to the side, and with a flourish, it is going to make an attack against you, Moa. That's going to be... That's 25 to hit. And as it hits you, you're going to take... Sorry, it's taking me too long to get to the dice roller. I'm going to roll damage with my real dice here. You are going to take 15 slashing damage, 1 evil damage, and 1 fire damage. It's then going to use its second attack against Velynia.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 21 minus 5 is a 16.
Does not hit me.
As it swings at you, and it's going to continue the arc, and it's going to make an attempt to hit Natalin with its third attack, and that's going to be oh geez. So that's a 2 plus 17. That's a 7 to hit. As it puts all of its force into hitting Moa, then swings around and misses Velynia and has almost nothing left as it gets to Natalin. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the fear effect is at the end of its turn. It ends.
I think it's my
Yeah,
turn.
the frightened value goes down by 1 at the end of
Its turn.
its turn, I believe.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
I'll triple check.
I'm looking right at it. It says you take
Okay,
a
cool.
status
Yeah.
penalty at the end of each of your turns. The value decreases by 1. So it is no longer frightened. There's too much on my screen. Lumi, you are up.
Lumi fumbles around her person as she looks for small bits of esoterica. She produces some stuff to try to exploit its vulnerability. She's going to make a cult lore against a standard DC of its level. And depending on how big my number is and compared to the DC, various things will happen.
Okay.
Love various things.
Mm-hmm.
Go get it.
So 16 on the die for a total of 28 against a standard DC of its level.
That is a critical success.
Critical success. Okay, so a bunch of shit happens now because of critical success. I remember the creature's weaknesses, and as I empower my esoterica, which is the amulet, I have a flash of insight that grants even more knowledge about the creature. I learn all of its resistances, all of its weaknesses, all of its immunities, including the amounts of resistances and weaknesses and unusual weaknesses or vulnerabilities, such as what spells will pass through a golem's anti-magic. I can then choose to either exploit the creature's mortal weakness or personal antithesis, based on the information I receive above. My weapon attacks are now magical, if they weren't already. So before I make my choice of whether I want to do personal antithesis or a mortal weakness, let me know what the creatures, all of the resistances, their values, weaknesses, their values, immunities, and any special vulnerabilities it has.
Damn it.
Please.
Yes. Tell me everything. Just read me the stat block.
Yeah.
Okay. It is immune to fire. Nada.
Okay.
It has weakness 5 to cold iron. And good.
Okay.
It also has an aversion called extinguishing aversion, meaning that dousing it with water or water effects deals mental damage to it, which increases if you can fully immerse the creature. That is the extent of its immunities, weaknesses, vulnerabilities.
Perfect. I will choose then to go with a mortal weakness, seeing that it was weak to, you said, sorry, good and cold iron.
Yes.
I then produce from my little bag of esoterica some little scraps of cold iron, some I take a little droplet of holy water and I quickly rub this on my weaponry. This is all the same action. So now that no matter what attacks I use, I am now going to be always hitting it as if I'm doing the damage type of its weakness.
Oh my god.
It'll only do the highest weakness. It doesn't stack up. So basically, I will always be triggering its weakness 5 or whatever it is against the different damage types. So that was action 1. I don't. Speaking of free action, it's shouting out loud. Just free I can do.
Yeah.
I can't. Okay. I will yell out, "Water! Water! Douse the thing's flames!" As my second action, I will draw my chakram, this big, huge bladed weapon that I used to do gnarly damage against Glorcus earlier. And then as my last action, I'm going to swing around and throw it as if I was thing at the Olympics, striking at it.
That's awesome.
So, is it okay? So I'm just gonna roll the number here. Oh, here you go. Why is it not rolling? Oh, I have to hit the roll button.
That would help.
Wait, why is it not rolling? I'll just refresh. One moment, please. Oh, I got booted out of my character. 1 second, please. My path builder just crashed. My bad.
Oh.
Okay. I got it working again. Hit roll. Okay, it's going to be 14 on the die for a total of 24 to hit.
24 is a hit.
All right. So that's going to be... Oh, those are big numbers. So it's going to be 17 slashing damage that will apply... So that will count as its highest weakness.
They're the same.
Okay, yeah, so whatever the number is on its highest weakness.
5.
So I'll do 22 then. I'll do 22 damage as the infusions of cold iron and holy water temporarily make my weapons hit its weaknesses. That's 22.
As you do so, again, from the wounds, boiling blood lashes out or splatters out, and I need you to make a basic reflex save.
Me from all the way over here?
Lumi is like 30
Ooh.
feet away.
I am, yeah, I'm I mean, that's okay. I will make
hold on. So
An arterial spray, like you.
what did you
would
attack
from
it with
range.
again?
a throwing weapon, a chakram.
So I'm going to say that Moa and Natalin need to make a reflex save.
Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone.
They're both right next to this thing. They're both adjacent to it. And you just slashed it. Or pierced it.
29.
Slash. I did slashing damage.
25.
Okay,
Wow,
you both
so-
succeed and we'll take half.
Agile.
The total damage on that is... Oh, I rolled max damage. So that is 8 reduced to 4. Fired... Sorry, correction. That was not a 4. That was a 1. So that is a 5 reduced to a 3 fire damage that you're going to take.
So
Ouch.
I'm going to use my reaction.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it's called.
Yeah.
My reaction of deflecting wave. The trigger is when I would take acid, bludgeoning, fire, or slashing damage. This is fire damage from an enemy's attack spell or otherwise hostile effect. Then what happens is a cascade of water. Basically, what we see is this aura of Natalin's just kind of almost instinctively gathers right in front of her, and it becomes like this wall of water. I gain resistance to the triggering effect damage equal to my level if it's bludgeoning or slashing, or double my level if it's acid or fire. So I have a resistance 8 fire.
So you completely blocked
Wow.
the 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was badass.
You just like Natalin is basically a waterbender.
I
Yes.
am. Yeah. Water and airbender.
Water and airbender.
Douse the thing with water. Put out its flames.
Okay, that was all. So Lumi, is that your turn yet?
So exploit vulnerability. Draw my weapon. Throw my weapon. That's my turn. Yes.
Damn. Wow.
Okay, Natalin.
Okay. My first thing I'm going to do, it's a 2-action thing. It's called base kinesis. Basically, I pull an element of one of my gates from that plane to here. It just says a bulk. I don't know. It says GM can. I keep clicking it off. The GM decides what the bulk is. Basically, I'm generating non-magical water just out of thin air, and I want to have it rain upon him.
So
There's no damage on this thing, like mechanically. It's just
there is though, because of what Lumi's noted.
yelled at me.
I'm gonna say that because this creature is small sized, that it counts as fully immersing it. Well, I guess it would still be dousing because you're not holding it underwater.
Yeah, it's just gonna fall.
Yeah, go ahead and roll 3d6.
Okay, 3d6 coming your way. That is a 1 and a 6 and a 1, so 8.
Okay, so it will take 8 mental damage as it cries out at this water cascading over it.
And then for my last action, I am reaching out and I'm touching Moa'Kee. I am, you feel a sense of calm and the smell of ocean spray through your nose as I heal you for 7 points of healing, plus you gain resistance 3 to fire.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. That helped.
Nice.
That's my turn.
My turn is next. Here I go. I'm gonna try to hit him with my short sword. Here we go. Fingers crossed. God fucking.
He's flat-footed, right? Because
Yes,
you're-
he's flat-footed.
Okay.
Which is a -2. Even if you think you fail, still tell me your numbers.
My number was 15.
Yeah, that's still a miss. Out of the
You gave me
water,
hope.
it's kind of like this. It's like a gas-powered, like a propane-fueled blade. As the water cascades over this thing, it almost reflexively puts its sword, and you see it. The water as it runs past, the flames are still as it blocks your attack. Velynia.
Okay. I'm gonna try it again. Here I go. -4 only because my short sword is agile. Oh, okay. So that is a 25 to hit him.
That is a hit.
Yes, let's go. And he's flanked, so I get my sneak attack damage.
Aye.
So that's 8 normal damage plus an additional 2, so 10 damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to attack him one more time. Here I go. Maybe going for that nat 20. I've got a good feeling about this. Nope. That's a nat 1. For a total of 3. Which is bad. I got steam in my eyes.
All right. Is that the extent of your turn?
That'll do her.
All right. You're whittling away at this creature that had the audacity to appear in the midst of all of you. Millie and Moa'Kee.
Moa'Kee
Do you
can
want
go.
to? Okay. So, as Moa'Kee channels some more energy, and this arcane energy is kind of wrapping around his hand, he pulls it into his sword, and I attack with a spell, with my spell strike. And I'm going to be attacking him with the wand that my cold iron wand, and then channeling the
fortunate.
shocking grasp into him. So I have a specific cold iron material wand that I'm stabbing him with, and then I will be. Is his armor? Does he have metal armor on him by chance?
No.
Okay.
No, he doesn't technically have armor. It's more like the leather straps are just modesty.
So 16 misses, doesn't it?
A 16 is a miss, even with it flat-footed.
Can I use our domain dice for that?
Yeah, you can re-roll.
All right, let me re-roll this thing. Man, same bloody thing.
It happens.
Yeah, that's just not. That was so. I missed with the first attack. I'm gonna attack him again. Well, that's 2 actions. I have to double check. So if I cast a spell and goes through, is it still there? Does the spell go away?
Say that again?
I am trying to remember.
You're doing a spell strike, right?
Yeah, I'm doing spell strike, and I think if I miss with attack, it's not a critical failure, is it?
No.
Okay, then the spell's still there. Is my understanding. And I can attack again with that spell because I'm getting my versions confused because I'm trying to remember if it's held or not. I'm sorry, my apologies. I am trying to remember
That the
This is
spell
first time
strike.
this is-
Yeah.
Yeah, spell strike.
I'm not seeing where it would say that it is held in. I'm looking at spell strike right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I might be thinking of an earlier version of it too,
Yeah.
because I thought if you use spell strike, the spell goes off, and if you miss.
Oh, you and I talked about this. You had asked this question before we started playing, and the determination was that the spell still goes into the item, but in order to use it again, you have to spend an action to activate it.
Well, no, that was for the crossbow that I have, or the
So the only sentence here that I see that would determine how I think I would rule this, if I were the ruler, is your spell is coupled with your attack. Using your attack result, determine both the effects of the strike and the spell. So because it would be a miss with the strike and a miss with the spell, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
how I would rule it.
Okay, so I missed with the spell.
Yep. Okay.
Dang it.
Any other actions?
I got one more, and I am going to use a focus spell that is called Dimensional Assault. So suddenly I disappear and reappear behind him as I teleport behind and make an attack, all in one with one action.
Whoa.
And that
Damn.
attack, yeah. So you've seen this before, but this is, that is a 25.
25 is a hit.
All right. So that is gonna be 6 points of cold iron piercing.
So it'll take. So you got 6 cold iron piercing, so it'll take 11 cold iron piercing.
Yep.
I need you to make a basic reflex save.
Yeah, that's a failure. It's a 10.
Remember that you have a 3 fire resistance right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's 7 fire damage from the boiling blood.
4. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Dang. Well, that wasn't as magnificent as I was hoping for.
Millie.
Yeah, Millie's been trying to decide what spell to use. So she's gonna pop on out here, and look at the guy, and then take a gamble and decide to. No, you know what? Okay, I want my team to call it Fort or AC.
Fort.
Okay. Millie is going to hurl what basically looks like a big ass torrent of frost at him while I cast the cantrip Frostbite.
Nice.
I will need a DC 20 Fortitude save, please.
Go get him.
DC 20 Fortitude save. Let's see.
Roll low, please.
Roll low. Hex.
Hey,
Cursed.
bada.
27.
Eh. Shit.
Suck. All right. Well, it's a cantrip, so nothing happens.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Good
sorry.
try, bud. Good try, bud.
All right.
So nothing happens, you said, because it's cantrip.
There you go. Move on.
So the binding muzzle is now gone, right? You're muted.
It lasts for a minute, but for one round, the breath weapon doesn't. But if he casts a spell, he has to make a flat DC 11 check.
Okay, so this creature really doesn't like you, Moa.
Well,
It doesn't like any of the three of you. Let's see. I just gotta check the action.
Marshall.
So the demon is. Oops, I'm trying to move in the wrong window. The demon is going to pivot around Natalin. Velynia, if you have a opportunity reaction, you can take it. Do you have an opportunity?
I don't think anyone here has
No.
reactive strike.
All right.
Nope.
So it's going to pivot around. As it does so, you see it reach up, and it sort of claws at the binding muzzle, and it's more flavor than anything. That it kind of works its jaw loose a little bit. It is not casting a spell. it will be using its breath weapon.
Oh God! Right in that straight line.
As it goes.
Fuck.
So glad I'm behind
And
it.
it looks like liquid, like liquid fire spewing out, and I need Natalin and Moa to make a basic reflex save.
Magma.
I will be I will be using my deflecting wave. You said reflex save?
Yep, basic reflex
Okay,
saves
so
from
that's
both of you.
a total of 20 for me. at this
Same
one.
here.
Okay. Both of you fail.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna have a reaction then.
I have a reaction of the deflecting wave.
So
I guess I need to find out whether what I'm assuming this is fire damage again. that we're
yes,
taking?
it is fire damage.
So I have 8 resistance of fire damage as my water shield goes up.
21 fire damage
Ah.
to each of you.
Oh, Lumi, help!
Lumi uses her reaction to hold up her talisman along with this good lined holy water and cold iron. It's like, no, foul demon, your powers are hindered here. And she calls out to the sanctified power of the earth that we're under right now. And Moa'Kee is gonna get resistance 6 to that fire damage that it takes. You take 6 less of it.
Nice.
Okay.
Does that stack with the 3 that he already has, or just it goes to 6 now instead of the 3?
It would turn to a 6 instead of a 3.
Okay.
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 So-
That still hurt. That still
Yeah.
hurt.
So also, I've never done this before, so let me see if I can do this.
I like to think that Moa actually says that from the back of the line. Ooh, that still hurt.
Why is that?
That
Yeah,
still
that hurt.
That hurt. That hurt.
Ow. Oh.
Okay, I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna have to learn how to do this. So the area from the demon, from Natalin, for basically all the way up through this tunnel, and the ground under your feet is basically covered with this hot liquid, the effects of a grease spell.
Okay.
So you have to make a reflex save or an acrobatics check, or fall prone. Okay. Basically, you're fine right now, but on your turn. Wait, does it say? On solid ground, each creature standing on the surface. Okay, so you need to make a reflex save or an acrobatics check, each of you.
Nat 20 for a 29.
You succeed.
Nice. He steps the fuck out of that grease spell.
I rolled a 19 on the die, so a total of 30.
You
Damn.
both hold your
Wow.
ground on the. It helps that this is loose soil. Grease doesn't really have too much of an effect there. Following that, it's going to use. Oh, it can't. It used its movement action. So that's its 3 actions.
Ha! Ha ha!
As it is now,
Ha!
Lumi.
Lumi, she ponders this creature. She wonders, what is this thing? Does she know anything about it? She racks her brain about all the stories and legends and tales that she's heard over time. She's going to do a recall knowledge check using her esoteric lore skill
Nice.
to ask you a question about this demon. And depending on the result of my roll, will be how you answer me. I'm going to ask the question: does this demon have any other powerful actions that we haven't seen yet? Because I saw the sword swing and the flame breath. Is there anything else it can do? Is my question. So I will make an esoteric lore roll here.
So this is just a yes or no question?
So I got a total of 20. Yes. A 22. I'll pull up recall knowledge here. So I got a 22 on the roll. against whatever the DC of a recall knowledge is. It's based on the creature stat block. And then let me know if it's a crit success, or just crit failure.
The number was...
Nothing happens on it.
What was the number and what was it versus?
22 versus not like a DC in its stat block, but a DC in like the monster category. Like I'm trying to recall knowledge about it. Like each monster has like a little
Right.
knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not a crit. Wait, sorry, it was 20 what?
22.
Sorry, it is a crit.
Crit. Okay.
No,
So
hold on. I apologize. Bad math. Not a crit, but yes, it has
okay.
something
So
else
it's a regular
powerful.
success.
It has
recall
other
the
features it
knowledge-
can do.
So I recall the knowledge accurately. The GM answers your question truthfully, not just yes or no. Just you give me the answer. Is there anything else that we haven't seen?
Yes.
Oh, what is it? Oh no. Okay.
So I give you the answer yes. And do I have to tell you what it is?
I assume so. Cool. That's gonna be an interesting one to debate. Because then my question, I guess, because like how would I frame it? Like how would I ask the question? It would be just what is the other ability? Yeah, that it has. That assumes that it has it. I don't know. We'll go with yes for now. We'll put a pin in that one for later.
You know that this type of creature has, in addition to its flaming weapon, this is pretty much, you could almost divine this by looking at it, that it can attack with its flaming hooves as well. But it has an ability to fume and create a thick cloud of black smoke to obscure itself and others. The smoke would be thick and choking.
So I will recall this knowledge that I have about this demon. Watch out! If you see it start to smoke really bad, you gotta get out of there. That smoke is horrendous. It'll kill you, or not kill you. It'll hurt you. She says to the rest of her companions. That was her first action, to recall knowledge. Second action is to pull out one of her star knives out of her bandolier, and then her third action is to strike with it. She kind of whips it around and tosses it, lobbing it at the demon. That's going to be a star knife, which is a roll. Okay. That is going to be 29 total to hit.
That's it?
Okay, that's
Get
going
him.
to deal.
Dude, what if Lumi kills this thing?
Oh, that's minimum damage. Okay, so that's
Oh.
6 slashing damage. That counts as cold iron / good for the sake of its weaknesses. So 11 total.
Lumi, how do you kill
Oh
this
my
demon?
god, I called it, bro! I called it! Let's go!
What does it look like?
So Lumi just she throws the star knife and she's like, oh shit, I fucked that one up because of the min damage, thinking it's just like a barely grazing strike. But I think just as she's done throwing it, the demon kind of after doing the big spew of the breath, steps back a little bit, and its own head steps in the way of where she threw the star knife. She thought that she just got a little glancing blow, and all of a sudden it steps back into the blade as the blade sinks vertically right in the back of its skull, sinking the full blade deep. And Lumi's like, oh, as she clasps her hands over her mouth, unexpecting this, and the demon probably takes a few staggering steps back, and will say some kind of last words it'll say that'll give the floor to Jake on, and then it'll collapse back, stumbling to the ground.
As this strikes into the back of its head, the first sign of what's about to come, the flame in the hooves, the flame in the sword, it all extinguishes. And it's like the fight just goes out of it as it just turns and looks right at you, Lumi. And it says something that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, only two of you will understand. I know Lumi will. As it says,
God,
and
not
then it
that.
just goes and falls forward, and as it hits the ground, its body turns into black smoke that moves across the floor and just seems to absorb into the floor. And it is gone. And what it said was in ancient Thessalonian, which I believe, yes, it's. I know that Lumi and Moa can understand.
Mm-hmm.
And what it said was, I'm actually going to message the two of you separately. No, you're going to tell your friends
motherfucker.
anyway. It said, I hope you die with the Hellstorm flume up your ass.
Wow. Incredible.
But because you two know ancient Thessalonian, there's the words Hellstorm flume were said in a way that intones a place of import or a thing of import. Basically, you heard the capitalization inherent in its words.
Capital H, capital F, Hellstone Bloom. Oh no.
You are out of combat.
Lumi's gonna stand there, shocked. Like her face, like she's already kind of a pale, pearlescent creature. Like she's even more pale hearing what this thing said to her, and it's like when it's locked eyes on her, she's like she just looked like she just saw a ghost. And she fumbles for the rune on her bandolier, not really able to find it. And then finds
Lumi?
it, and then the throwing weapons like clattered across the ground to return to her.
I immediately cast Potions Bomb on myself.
Velynia, who took no damage that combat, is kind of like walking slowly towards Lumi. And has Lumi ever killed anything before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm just making sure. Like she seemed pretty shook. So I was just
Yeah,
making sure.
like her first kill was like definitely like very terrifying for her, but like she's like starting to get over, like she hasn't, like she's not a, you know, one who's like often done like, or isn't like desensitized entirely to it, like especially if it's, unless it's monsters. If it's like super monstrous like the undead or whatever, she's like a little bit more okay about it. But
yeah,
but this was like, so you can tell that she's shook, not because like she got the killing blow, but because like this demon turned around to her, stared her dead in the eyes, and cursed her in ancient Thessalonian. And she's
I think, yeah, Velynia would like just stand there and shrug.
She's holding her talisman close.
What did it say?
It's like the Hellstorm flume is going up my ass.
Oh, very descriptive.
What?
It wasn't a curse.
Just nonsense. Oh wait, I can't hear you. You're way the hell down.
And she like bends over to like grab the chakram and the star knife that are like clattering towards her magnetically, kind of on the ground, and she picks them up and stows them away again. Well, I think we I think that was the fire monster from earlier.
Yeah, I think it was. And on that note, I think we can probably safely...
Some kind of brimstone demon.
Hey, Jake.
Thessalonian?
Yeah.
This is...
Is it okay with you if I, if I telekinetically pick up the arm bone that Zodok was chomping on earlier and hurtle it at Zodok while he's trying to make a getaway?
I'm glad you broke in. I was like, I'm gonna go get you.
So Zoduk is on the ground, black ichor pouring from his neck, trailing behind him, and he is crawling inch by inch. So you could absolutely hurl an arm bone or whatever at him. Go ahead and make an attack and add a +2 to it.
All right, so that's going to be a 28 to hit.
What is improvised weapon damage and...
Oh no, I'm using telekinetic projectile.
Oh,
It's a cantrip.
okay, so what does that do?
It hurts a lot. Let's see. It's a 3d6 bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage as appropriate for the object you hurled. So this would be piercing.
Yep.
With the bone.
Oh no.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
With the
Hell
bone.
yes. Hell yes. Let's go.
So that is going to be 10 plus 2 for, or 10 plus 1 for my sorceress potency.
So yeah, Zoduk takes a movement and he gets just a few inches further and he kind of lifts his head to see where he's going. And that's where we kind of see the view down low, his POV, and we see all of you sort of out of focus behind. And then all of a sudden we just see this fist go right out his open mouth. And then he goes, instantly just goes, and the camera rack focuses to see Millie just going like this.
Dude, holy shit, Millie.
That seems like a really good place to say that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
The secret badass.
So, just so you guys know that I'm not being totally sneaky while still being sneaky. Before ending, I was going to allow some of you to make a perception check. However, I wanted to see if anybody noticed that the whole time you guys were talking, I was inching Zoduk away. In fact, he made his first move. He made his first move as soon as Mama Millie moved away.
Yeah, I actually noticed that and thought I moved him on accident somehow.
That's kind of what I was hoping that you thought.
Again.
And then I had a hard time. If you go back and watch, there's a point where Kaeryn said in the chat, I see Zoduk sneaking off, and I could not hardly keep a straight
I'd like
face.
to follow him. Dude, we don't miss a fucking thing, dude. We've all been playing too long.
That's one of those things that makes playing with a battle map very fun. To be able to just go...
And especially a digital battle map.
Yeah.
If you were sitting at a table, we would all notice your ass reach over there and move it.
It would have been pretty baller if we hadn't noticed, too. Like, suddenly, hey, where's Zoduk?
Right. Because something I wanted to point out, I think Cari asked the question, is Zoduk dead? And what I said was, he's more or less dead, or he's basically dead. I did not confirm that he was 100% dead. So I've said this many times as a DM. I will straight up lie to you, but you can use the game's rules to try to determine if I'm lying. In fact, if Cari hadn't said sense motive when she did, earlier on, there was a point where I was going to say, hey, if you want to determine if somebody's lying to you or not, you can use sense motive. I'm never going to do anything that's going to outright screw you guys over, something that would be tantamount to cheating. But I will definitely, in character, the characters may try to sneak away or lie to your face. Sometimes they're not very good at it. Oh, that exit, I've never seen that before.
Awesome.
This is one of those
good shit.
This is one of those sessions where you guys accomplished quite a bit, you learned quite a bit, but you did not advance any further from where you were.
Physically on the map, yeah.
It could be argued that you backtracked a bit. So
we did stuff.
Whoever drew the grease, thank you. And you could probably go ahead and remove that because the Brimarack is dead.
Lumi looks up at Velynia with a lot of concern in her eyes and a bunch of recall knowledge checks for next session.
Yeah, that's
Amazing.
that is extremely powerful ability you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like dangerous knowledge.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was session 4.
Incredible.
Something I'll have to figure out what's a good title for this one.
Man.
But let's go ahead and say I do want to say a huge thank you to everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you to, of course, all of the usual culprits going above and beyond for channel support and earning domain tomes. Nope. Domain dice. Thank you for the bits donations from Cari and tons of subs from Neophet3 and Tamiko, and just adding to that Gen 2 Penguin continuing a gifted sub. So thank you all for all of that. Of course, it supports the game in those radical actions of spending 5 domain dice. But also helps support the channel so we can have awesome intros and whatnot. Thank you to everybody who hung out in chat. Love seeing everybody in chat, talking, hanging, and hype trains and emotes and all that good stuff. And of course, as always, despite all of the ridiculous gremlins in the machine and my glitches at the beginning, thank you to all of you, amazing players. As I muddle through another combat, I'm slowly learning though. I'm getting better at it with every session we play. But thank you to all of you. We're just in the beginning of this thing, so I cannot wait to see as you guys learn more and as your characters grow and you learn more about the story and start seeing what you guys are going to do. Thank you to Violet, Kaeryn, Tamiko, Cari, and Jay, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Merton Brimstone.